I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis sitting with us around the world at this moment in 712 places through NTV, 25 places on two-way Nayana Diksha, video conferencing, in 214 cities in 34 countries. Cities sitting with us on two-way video conferencing: Calgary Amarnath, Seattle Chidambaram, Los Angeles Arunachalam, Atlanta Ujjaini, Toronto Kailasam, Ohio Prayag, San Jose Madurai, Phoenix Kanchipuram, Oman Sivagangai, Anna Nagar Chennai, Tucson Arizona, Edgewater, Hyderabad City Center, Edgewater New Jersey, New Jersey Omkareshwar, Paris Kalighat, Rotorua New Zealand, Dallas Dwaraka, Lyon France, Singapore Singapuram, Guadalupe Rameshwaram, Oklahoma Somanatham, London UK, Charlotte Srisailam, and Ohio Prayag, Arizona, Dallas Texas, Rio de Janeiro Brazil, Vancouver Canada, Batu Caves Malaysia, that's it, man. Thiruvannamalai Arunachalam, I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today's satsang is specially on Kailash. Kailash is not just a place. It is a statement. Shiva makes about himself. Understand the whole grandeur of the place, whole energy of the place, whole experience of the place. So amazing. I can go on be giving you geographical facts like where it is, altitude, so many other things. But today I am not going to waste my time on giving you all those details which you can Google and find in the internet. Today I am going to give you more mystical secrets of Kailash. See, recently I read news. One of the billionaire in India built his house spending $1 billion. 1 billion rupee. No, $1 billion, yes. 1 billion US dollar is spent. In Indian value, something like a 4,500 crore. Just to build his house, residence. When I read the news, I was wondering, why will anybody on the earth make a house for 4,500 crore? It is not his house. It is more like a statement he is making about himself. I can say the same way. Kailash is not just the abode of Mahadeva, Devon ki Dev, Mahadeva. It's a statement he is making about himself. Most powerful mystical energy field, most powerful spiritual energy center, I can say the energy field created by the collective efforts of 1 lakh enlightened beings. At least 1 lakh enlightened beings have left their bodies there. Please understand. When a rich man dies, he leaves his wealth and dies. Same way, when an enlightened being dies, all the blissful bio-memories he leaves and dies. That's the greatest wealth he leaves for the world. That is why I tell you, whenever you get a chance, even if you suspect somebody may be enlightened, and if you get a chance to be there when he leaves the body, or after he left the body in his samadhi, don't miss it. Because when enlightened beings leave the earth, they leave a huge treasure of positive bio-memory. One enlightened being's positive bio-memory can awaken at least 1 lakh bio-memories to its peak. Then understand, at least 1 lakh enlightened bodies are there in Kailash. I have to just give a number, so I am giving a number like 1 lakh. Honestly, I should say innumerous. But the word innumerous will not make any meaning for you. That's why I have to make a number. At least 1 lakh enlightened beings have left their bodies there. Such intense energy. Anybody enters into that field, their spiritual bio-memory is awakened. Their higher consciousness is awakened. The whole cosmos is administered, managed from the Kailash center. Please understand, each energy, great master Aurobindo says, each energy, like energy of wind, energy of ocean, energy of sun, energy of moon, Each energy is an independent intelligence. It is a personification of independent intelligence with which you can connect, which responds to your thoughts, prayers, questions, queries. All those energies, the energy of wind, energy of ocean, energy of sun, energy of moon, all of them are centered in Kailash. From Kailash, they administer, control the whole planet Earth. When I say, I really mean. It is from Kailash, everything is administered. Please understand, just like a person who lives in America, he is so American-centered, many times they don't even believe outside their border human beings live on planet Earth. Because even if their football match, they call it as World Cup. All the participants are from inside America. There is not a single group which participates from outside America. Because they don't even believe outside their country human beings live. See, when you live for a long time in one place, and if you are supported and everything is supplied, all your requirements are met, you forget some other place exists outside your boundary, and all your operation, everything happens that country centered. No country is so centered on their country like America. I tell you, same way, staying in that country, there are a lot of benefits because all major things are done, designed for American body. All the major medical researches, discovery of medicines, everything is done with a American average. Understand? After many years, each country adopts and creates their averages. For example, the medicine you take for your blood pressure, headache, everything is designed for American average. In course of time, in each country, they adopt it for their average. Same way, all the decisions are made from Kailash. All the mystical decisions are made from Kailash. All the techniques are designed, methods are created, centered on Kailash. So whenever we have to teach outside Kailash, we have to make it, we have to adopt it, customize it to that area. Now if I am giving you any yoga or kriya, I have to adopt it, customize it for Bangalore. But originally, when it is delivered for people who live in Kailash. I think now you understand the importance of Kailash. Everything, all the mystical decisions, everything designed, revealed, made available to planet Earth in Kailash. If they have the habit of putting the seal made in every scripture, every technique, every sutra, every spiritual formula has to come out with a print made in Kailash. That is the place where everything originates. The science of inner awakening, science of enlightenment, everything. All the yogic powers, siddhis, everything, everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. It is the place. I can say this is the eternal ground zero. Maybe I can coin a new word, ground infinity. As the ground zero word looks more empty, I can say ground infinity. Even I never expected that I had to believe and utter there is some place more attractive to me than Arunachala. That was really, I can't think, but I have to tell you now. Kailash is incomparable. I don't even want to compare. Something about Kailash. Only thing, unfortunately, you can't live there permanently. If Kailash was politically inside India, I guarantee I will not stay in any other place. Because politically it is not in Indian geography. And it is not possible to stay there. I have to come out. Otherwise, you don't even need to be a seeker to experience Kailash. Just go there physically. You will experience Kailash. If somebody tells me that they don't have money to go to Kailash, I'll tell them, sell one kidney and go. If I do not have money to go to Kailash, I will not bother to sell one kidney and go to Kailash. I'll do that. Even if you don't have 2 legs, 2 hands, just move your body and go to Kailash and see. If you just have 2 eyes in your life, that's enough. Don't miss Kailash. If you can, go. If you can't, even then go. That is what exactly I can tell about Kailash. Literally, that is the place where Shiva walked when he was in the human body. Even now, his presence stays centered in Kailash. From there he operates. Whenever he wants to assume a form, he assumes, but the center stays in Kailash. Like whenever I assume the body, I operate, but my center stays in the banyan tree. Keeping banyan tree as my center, I operate. If after every night I pass into samadhi, next day when I get into my body, I enter the banyan tree first. From banyan tree only I enter into my body. So when I leave my body to rest, when I fall into samadhi, I'll keep the remembrance based on the body's distance from banyan tree. So it is from banyan tree I operate. Same way, Mahadeva, Shiva operates in Kailash. Kailash is his center. He assumes different bodies in different frequency. Sometime in physical plane, sometime in subtle plane, sometime in the causal plane, sometime he is in Nirvana Sarira, bodiless space, but he is centered in Kailash, the physical Kailash. Devi, Parvati, is centered in Manasarovar. Manasarovar is the pure Devi energy, which is the source of all the holy rivers of Hindu tradition. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati and Brahmaputra. All the four rivers originate from Manasarovar. Kailash, literally power center of the universe. Literally the energy center of the universe. All the major 5 religions of the eastern part of the world, the eastern countries, 5 major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. All 5 religions worship Kailash as their energy center. Hinduism believes Kailash is the place of Shiva's abode. Buddhists believe Kailash is the place where Buddha with 500 bodhisattvas sitting. Jains believe Kailash is the place where Rishabhadeva became enlightened. Actually, the Nandi of Shiva only is worshipped as Rishabhadeva in Jain tradition. That is why wherever the Nandi worship is popular, Jain traditions will have their roots. In Karnataka, Nandi worship is very popular. Bashva Sampradaya. That's why Jainism has a deep roots in Karnataka. The vegetarianism of Jainism is closely related to cow protection, the Nandi worship. And Tibetan Buddhists respect Mount Kailash as the center of the universe. Sikhs also worship and believe in Mount Kailash. One of their guru achieved enlightenment and left the body. It is not once in a lifetime journey. I can say Kailash is once in many lifetime journey. Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, Sikhs and Bonds. There is another one, religious Sampradaya, Bonds. All five of them believe Kailash as their most sacred energy center. How much I can describe about Kailash, I myself don't know. Because I really feel shy that I may disrespect Kailash when I try to describe it. I don't want to do that. Disrespecting or misrepresenting. So better I'll present some of the visuals of our Kailash Yatra last year. Between, I'll add my commentary. I'll add my explanations. Let's see the visuals of the Kailash directly.
Where are you guys going?
Kailash is not a place, it is a statement.
Kailash, land of wind, snow and cosmic mysteries. Revered in all Eastern cultures as the abode of the divine, Kailash has attracted the fearless and the devout since time immemorial. The secret origins of Kailash are lost in timelessness. Hindus regard it as the dwelling of the Supreme, Lord Shiva and his consort Devi. Tibetan Buddhists believe this mountain to be the abode of Buddha Chakrasambhara. Followers of the Jain religion worship Kailash, which they called Ashtapada, as the place where Rishabhadeva, their primary spiritual guide, attained liberation. In Hindu scriptures, Kailash is revealed to be the earthly manifestation of Meru, the legendary mountain which is the source and axis of the universe. Hindus consider Kailash so sacred that a single parikrama, going around the mountain just once, is enough to destroy all karmas and grant one the ultimate liberation. No spiritual seeker can afford to miss Kailash. Over the centuries, the greatest spiritual masters have travelled to this remote spot in the mountains for a vision of sacred Kailash, including the Buddha and Adi Shankara, the 12th century pioneer of India's Vedic Renaissance. Kailash is not just a place, it is a dimension of the pure, formless, superconscious energy which gave birth to the universe. To journey to such a dimension with an avatar, the most powerful human transmitter of superconscious energy on this planet, is indeed the opportunity of many lifetimes.
I've wanted to go to Kailash for about 15 years, and several times I had tried to make some arrangement to go, and each time it didn't work out for some reason. And then about 3 years ago I met Swamiji, and everybody was talking about the Himalaya Yatra already he had led, and that the next one was going to be Kailash. And then at that time I realized I had been waiting only to go with him. So no, I never considered any other agency or any other leader, because only I wanted to be with him at Kailash. It's not a question of which agency would make a good tour. It was the presence of Swamiji that would make the Kailash completely a Shiva experience, which is what I wanted.
Gokarna Forest Resort, Kathmandu, Nepal. The Yatra team checked into the beautiful resort, set in the temperate Gokarna forest. This former private royal hunting grounds of the King of Nepal is a majestic mix of Mala period architecture and Rana period lodges that blend harmoniously with the surrounding nature. That evening, Swamiji held a session in the resort where he revealed the sacred secrets of Kailash. Pashupatinath Temple, Eastern Kathmandu. The group spent the first 2 days acclimatizing to the new altitude and spent the day visiting Pashupatinath Temple. Set in Eastern Kathmandu, it is the biggest Shiva temple complex in the world, with 492 temples and more than 1,000 Shiva lingams. The Pashupatinath Temple is a pagoda-style temple with a golden roof and has been a religious site for both Hindus and Buddhists for over 2,000 years. The group started off the day on boats with breakfast from Swamiji's own plate. The visit to Vindhyavasini Temple.
In Pokhara also, from there we went to this place called, which was the hometown of Devi's parents, right? Vindhyavasini was the temple's name, and so we went through and we saw the place where actually Devi's relatives used to stay, right? And that is the place from which they traveled to Kailash, and on the return is when Devi was born, right? So deep secrets about the place in Nepal.
The temple is situated in the heart of Pokhara. Vindhyavasini is worshipped as the mother goddess who fulfills the wishes of her devotees. The group found ample time to chat with Swamiji on this trip. Among fascinating tidbits that Swamiji revealed, one was about saligramas. Saligramas are regarded as embodiment of Vishnu energy. Swamiji explained the formation of the saligramas and also said they had life in them and had the capacity to extract pain. Lumbini.
So Lumbini, birthplace of Buddha, and Buddha was surely one of Swami's favorites. So he was in his elements in Lumbini. He took us to the birthplace, and Swami said that the birthplace of an incarnation is like a nuclear crater, right? As if a nuclear bomb was burst, you would see it's an explosion of divinity in that place, and if you can see it, you will actually experience that explosion. So you cannot miss the place. So that was the real place where Buddha was born, and he took us around there, and he showed, and we could feel the energy of the incarnation there. Like you clearly feel something very different when we went around. And again, Swami made us take photos. Like we had photos with Swami, with Lumbini in the background.
Lumbini turned out to be a very high energy place. Swamiji said that since this was the real birthplace of an incarnation, it retains the energy. When an incarnation lands on the planet, it is like a nuclear blast, and the energy trail remains there forever. In the evening, the group headed back to Kathmandu.
Before I met Swamiji, I was a Tibetan Buddhist, practicing Buddhist for 15 years. And Kailash is sacred to the Buddhists, especially the Tibetan Buddhists. And so always I had the aspiration that I would make one yatra before I finish this janma. And it never worked out to go with any Tibetan group. And then when I met Swamiji, then he really, to me, is emanation of Shiva. Really, he is embodiment of Shiva. And then I understood that I had been waiting for him only. That's why I never had been able to complete the yatra before. So for me to travel with Shiva to Shiva's own place, that was the perfection of a yatra for me.
Back in Kathmandu, the group started the day with a photo shoot with Swamiji against the lovely backdrop of hills and valleys that surrounded the hotel. Later, the group visited the Nilkant Vishnu temple. This temple has an amazingly huge statue of a reclining Vishnu.
Jalnarayanan Swamiji told a beautiful where Mahavishnu will be lying on Adishesha, and usually he will be lying on the side post, right? In this Jalnarayan he would be facing the sky, and the deity itself is such a way that it's like the Adishesha and the Narayana are more like intertwined with each other, more close to each other, and such a friendly closeness was exhibited in that deity. So it was such a beautiful experience to even see that, and that deity used to float on the water, but due to the many invasions, some chemicals has been induced, and it now don't has the capacity to float. But that was the main thing of that place.
Travel to Nilam in Tibet. The day was spent traveling to Nilam in Tibet. Though there was a long wait at the Chino-Nepal border into Tibet, the drive was well worth the wait. Incredible beauty and grandeur greeted the wonderstruck eyes of the visitors. Misty mountains dotted the landscape of Tibet. Clearly, Shiva found the best place on the planet to make his home. Drive to Mansarovar. Finally, on the way to Kailash and Mansarovar, with stops at Brahmaputra River and Om Parvat. Brahmaputra has the dubious distinction of being the one river to flow against the slope of the ground at many places. This characteristic earns it a male name, the only such river in the Indian subcontinent. The group stopped at the mountain Om Parvat for lunch, also known as Adi Kailash or Chota Kailash. Om Parvat has the natural imprint of the word Om. Swamiji stated that Devi performed the Aksharabhyasam for Lord Ganesh on this mountain. Mansarovar, the place of Devi's birth. To the utter disappointment of the group, Mount Kailash was covered by clouds, had not been visible since the past few days.
I'll move the cloud now.
The valley, one valley there.
In few minutes, it will be cleared. By the time we go around, we will have the darshan of Kailash. You'll see.
But suddenly, when the cloud cover cleared, the whole group watched spellbound as slowly Kailash gave darshan.
First view of Kailash, it happened near Manasarovar. So we all went there, and so it was fully clouded actually. It's covered by clouds, and we couldn't see actually. And we were asking the gods, and Swamiji also asking where exactly the Kailash is. He was asking, the gods were saying, oh, it's there and all. Then Swamiji did know, then he said, no, okay, I'll make it clear everything. And he said, okay, it's going to clear within 5-10 minutes. And the amazing thing is, and within 5-10 minutes, everything got clear. And that was amazing. That's really, we couldn't believe our own eyes. Actually, it was even the people who are security people and all, they were saying, past 3-4 days we couldn't see because it was covered by and now only this is the first time we are seeing, and it was amazing. And by watching Swamiji, how the devotion towards the Kailash Swamiji, by seeing him, really that was really amazing. I think, and he was explaining to each and every person the importance of the Kailash, the compassion Swamiji is showing to each and every person. And even though if some people are not feeling well, he was asking each and how you are doing and healing each and particular. He himself is going to them and healing them. The compassion, no? That's amazing. It's we can't put in words.
Kailash Nath Mahadev ke Jai!
But this Kailash, first darshan, made me overflow. After Arunachala, first time in my life I fell flat in front of Kailash. Exactly the place where I had the first darshan. Immediately I fell. After seeing Kailash, I thought, oh God, what a mysterious wonder is being expressed so physically. What a statement delivered by the cosmos in stone. The ultimate mystery in stone.
The group retired into their comfortable tents for the night. The next day dawned with a clear sky, and the group had a magnificent view of the south face of Mount Kailash. The group left the Mansarovar camp to another spot with the east view of Kailash. Here, a Tarpanam was done. Where everyone dropped one deep samskara as each one took a dip in the icy cold waters of Mansarovar.
Being in that environment, being in that energy field of that mountain and that lake, Manasarovar Lake, and being in Swamiji's energy environment, which is, they're complementary, they match, the vibrations match, the frequency matching. So together it made it wove a field of intense transformation. I'm still experiencing the effect of it. I can't say that it already happened and it's finished. It's an ongoing process. It just continues and continues and continues.
The group drove around the lake on a beautiful road to Kailash base camp at Darchen. The road passed by Lake Rakshasthal, where Devi killed the demons Chanda and Munda and threw their bodies in it. Drive through Parikrama Path to Yamadwar. The most memorable day of the trip was the drive to Yamadwar that lay on the Parikrama Path. Here, people leave footwear and horses before proceeding to Kailash.
No, we are not supposed to walk on it naturally. Because they leave the body there. Na?
Markandeya is said to have meditated on Shiva at this place. When the time came for him to leave this world, Lord Yama, the god of death, arrived to carry Markandeya away. Instead, he was shocked when Lord Shiva intervened for his devotee and kicked Yama to protect his devotee. Next, the group made their way to Ashtapat, which had the closest view of Kailash. The group spent 8 hours meditating, and which culminated with energy darshan by Swamiji. The next day was time to start the return journey.
So when we were sitting in Ashtapat, like I was telling, there's a lot of other groups that came, and they all stood for 10 minutes and went, right? The interesting thing was one of those groups had a couple who were from Tamil Nadu, and they had asked Swami some time back that they should come to Kailash in a Kalpatru, right? And Swami had blessed them saying that you will go to Kailash. And so, interestingly, not only they came to Kailash at the same time that Swami had come too, right? So, they were all overjoyed. They came and asked Swami for blessings. But turned out that they were in bad shape. The whole group was in bad shape because they had not acclimatized very well, and they had no equipment. Like, for us, we had, every one of our vans had a couple of oxygen bags, and we had a cylinder which could refill from. no, the facilities were amazing. Well, they had for their entire group just 2 oxygen pillows, right? And their tour guide would not give it to them because he said he was keeping it for later. And Swami was just shocked by it, and he said, this should not be the way you should do this. I mean, this is like unethical and immoral, whatever it is. It's like terrible, right? And so he said, he called our doctors and said, test all of them, give them whatever facilities, as many oxygen cylinders that you can, or as many oxygen pillows as you can, whatever they need, give it to them, right? And we did. We tested all of them and found out that many of them had oxygen levels below 70. And so at that point he said, every bit of money from this trip would go to help people visiting Kailash. So at that point he decided that he's going to have for the next season a large setup where doctors would come and they would serve the people going in the parikrama. They would get all medical aid that they required, and that's exactly what he's doing now. He's getting so many of his doctors, devotees who are doctors, to come, and he's setting up all the facilities around the parikrama road so that people would have them irrespective of what their tour operators provide them, right? And there you saw this compassion and instantaneous compassion, spontaneous compassion in action, right? He just didn't even think twice before giving away everything from the trip, like everything that people had worked for. And of course there's nothing for him, but like it's just the sweep with which magnanimity with which he operated is something that seeing that itself opens up layers of your being, right? On how what greatness is, what the divine is all about.
Only with a master, when we go, it is authentic. Like when we go with the master, he says, okay, now I am going to take you to Kailash and you will see Kailash, means it is happening, and it has happened already. Because when master is there, he shows what you need to see.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's a divine place. It's out of the world. It is out of the world, and no one should miss it for any reason. Right? If you can, do go there. If you can't, then also go there. Don't miss the place, and go with the master.
The Kailash mountain is not a mountain. There are a lot of master samadhis are there, and even Shiva himself is there. Unless we go with master, you won't get that experience.
Being in that environment, being in that energy field of that mountain and that lake, Manasarovar lake, and being in Swamiji's energy environment, which is, they're complementary, they match, the vibrations match, the frequency matching. So together it wove a field of intense transformation. I'm still experiencing the effect of it. I can't say that it already happened and it's finished. It's an ongoing process. It just continues and continues and continues.
Dates of 2012 Kailash Yatra: 27th July to 14th August, full trip with Swamiji. 23rd July to 9th August, 2 days with Swamiji. Sign up at www.nithyananda.org. For inquiries, email n.yatras@nithyananda.org. Contact in India 91-77609-80635. In USA 1-909-908-4996.
My eyes have poured in bliss. I am not the guy who will cry out of joy and all. I make others cry. But I myself never cry. But when I had the first darshan of Kailash, it was such a strong experience. I could see very clearly the cosmic circle of masculine and feminine energy. It was literally Shiva and Devi dancing. It was such an ecstasy. My eyes poured. Usually when devotees cry in bliss, I tell them, it has gone loose. But really for one full day I had a doubt whether I have also become loose. It was such an experience. The first darshan was, and one more important thing. First when we went, it was cloud. 5 minutes I said, within 5 minutes the cloud will move. It moved. Then I said, till we leave, no question of cloud or covering. Until we left, almost 4 days, there was never ever cloud again on Kailash. We were able to see Kailash completely all over, from wherever we went. The day we came down, within 24 hours, again cloud covered, they put the screen, and for next 15 days people were not able to see Kailash. This time, we have decided we are going to go round the Kailash. We are going to do parikrama. As I said, how much ever I describe, I feel shy because I am not doing the job properly. How much ever I try to describe, it will only be very, very, very lower than the reality. So, I can only tell one thing. Visit. Have darshan. Only then you can understand what it really means. So I invite all of you to Kailash, to experience Kailash. I bless you all. Let all of you who are sitting with us around the world at this moment, 1048 places through NTV, 25 places to an Anadiksha, in 284 cities in 37 countries. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share, and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Dates of 2012 Kailash Yatra: 27th July to 14th August, full trip with Swamiji. 23rd July to 9th August, 2 days with Swamiji. Sign up at www.nithyananda.org. For inquiries, email n.yatras@nithyananda.org. Contact in India 91 77609 80635. In USA 1 909 908 4996.